Yes, I don't care. 4 words. 4 months of confusion. Months of replaying every conversation, wondering what I missed, wondering if I'd imagined the whole thing. And in 4 words, sitting on the other end of a phone call I probably shouldn't have made, she gave me everything I needed. Not the answer I wanted, the answer I needed. This is the story behind my song, Already Gone, and the moment I finally understood what avoidant attachment actually does to a relationship. Before we go further, I know this AI avatar might feel a little strange. It still feels a little strange to me, honestly. I use it because I'm not a natural speaker. This technology lets me get out of my own way. The stories, the feelings, the lyrics, those are entirely mine. This is just how they reach you without my social anxiety getting in the way. Sometimes the message matters more than the messenger. And today, I think this message might matter to someone. If you've ever been in a relationship where someone seemed to disappear while they were still right in front of you, if you've ever felt confused about why someone you loved just stopped showing up, emotionally, while their body was still taking up space in your home, this video is going to give you the language for something you probably couldn't name. It's called avoidant attachment, and by the end of this, you'll understand exactly what it looks like, why it happens inside the avoidant, and how to recognize when it's already happening to you. 4 months after Tracy ghosted me, I did something every single podcast, every Reddit thread, every breakup advice column told me not to do. I called her. No contact. Move on. Don't give her the satisfaction. That's what everything said. But I had a question I couldn't shake. Not, can we fix this? I was past that. Not, do you still love me? I already knew the answer. My question was simpler and more painful. Why? Why did she just stop? Stop talking, stop planning, stop being present while still being there. So I called, and she answered. She said, "Why are you calling me after all this time?" I said, "Because you left with no explanation. I wondered if you could help me understand why." Her answer, "We were like strangers living together. We weren't talking." I asked, "Why do you think that was?" She said, "I don't know." I told her, "I tried to talk to you. You put up walls and pulled your energy back. When I tried to connect, you looked at me with contempt." She denied it. So I laid out what I'd been investing in while she was already mentally gone. I booked us a cruise. I canceled it because you just left. I bought an engagement ring. I put your name on my will. I was building a future with you, while you had stopped talking about any future at all. She had nothing to say to that. Then she said something that reframed everything. I asked about something she'd mentioned months before, that if she had another serious asthma attack, she worried I wouldn't be a good person to care for her. I said, "Why would you think that?" She said, "Because you would want my attention." There it was. I wasn't a partner. I was a happiness provider, a service, not a person she was building a life with. When I told her she'd hurt me by leaving without a word, she said, "You hurt me too, Greg." As if my need for basic communication was equal to her walking out without a goodbye. Her final words, "Yes, I don't care." I didn't just lose a relationship. I lost months of reality. I'd been in a relationship with someone who had already mentally left, and I hadn't known it. That confusion needed somewhere to go. The opening lines came first. "You said you were tired, had a lot on your mind, said nothing was wrong, just running behind, I worked all day, came home to the dark. You were sitting right there, but you felt so far." Those final weeks, the house getting colder, conversations that went nowhere. Then the chorus, the part that still hits hardest. "I was reaching for you. You were slipping away. I was holding the line. You were losing the weight. I thought love meant staying. You thought it meant gone. By the time I felt lonely, you were already gone." That's the core of avoidant attachment in a relationship. 2 people with completely different definitions of what love is supposed to do. I believed love meant commitment, staying through the hard parts, working through it together. She was operating from a completely different place. When I wrote, "I was fighting for us," you were counting the days. I was capturing the brutal truth. While I was booking cruises and buying rings, she was already mentally packing her bags. The bridge was the hardest part to write. I called you months later, just to ask why said you hurt me when you left without goodbye. You said I hurt you too, like it's all the same. Said we felt like strangers, but I was calling your name. That false equivalency. "You hurt me too," is something I hear from almost everyone who's been through a fearful avoidant relationship. The avoidant partner reframes the situation so their withdrawal becomes your fault. Your need for communication becomes you being too much. And the strangest part? She genuinely believed it. So what is actually happening inside someone like Tracy? Avoidants don't ghost you suddenly. When love stops being theoretical and starts requiring actual vulnerability, a fearful avoidance nervous system reads that as a threat. Their nervous system has been wired to associate intimacy with danger. It triggers a deactivating strategy. They start to withdraw. Emotionally first. Conversations get shorter. Future talk disappears. Distance starts to feel more comfortable than closeness. And here's what makes it so difficult to identify. They don't tell you any of this is happening. What you experience is a slow leak. The warmth seeps out. You try harder to connect. They pull back further. You question yourself. They reassure you just enough to keep you there. And the cycle repeats until one day they're gone. Or worse, they're still physically present but have been emotionally gone for months. That's what already gone means. That's what I was living in. Here's where my own wiring complicated things. I've always struggled with the INFJ door slam. Even when I've completely lost trust, I still don't fully close the door. Not because I'm weak, because my INFJ depth doesn't work like a switch. This is why I made that call. I lead the horse to water, even when I'm pretty sure they won't drink. What I learned is that there's a crucial difference between keeping your heart open and keeping yourself available for continued harm. After that phone call, I had my answer. She didn't have the capacity for empathy. That was just a fact. The door to my life closed that day. The door in my heart. I still hope she finds peace. If you're in a relationship right now and something just feels off, if you're reaching for someone who keeps stepping back, don't wait for a phone call 4 months later. Here are the signs I missed. The future talk stops. They're there, but they're not there. Your attempts to connect are met with withdrawal, not openness. You start to feel needy for wanting the basics. These are deactivating strategies. Stop questioning your own reality. When Tracy said, "Yes, I don't care," she didn't destroy me, she freed me. When I said, "You know you left someone who loved you and was loyal, faithful, and would have stuck by you through all your storms," her answer, "Yes, I don't care." In that moment, I understood. She hadn't left me when she walked out the door. She'd left long before that. And the relationship I'd been fighting for in those final months, it had already ended. I just hadn't been told yet. I loved you like staying. You loved me like gone. That one line holds everything. Line holds. If this resonated with you, if you've lived through something like this, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. The link to Already Gone is in the description. I write songs about real psychology. Subscribe if you want more of this. And I'll see you in the next one. Your love was never the problem. Their fear was just louder than your voice.